Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing in this hole. My volumes look good. I'm that motherfucking nigga. Oh, forgot my library.
Hello. Hi, how are you doing? I'm okay.
I'm Trey B. Lion.
And I'm J Mello the Great.
And you're listening to T&J's Child's Play.
We created this podcast to give young adults an escape from their daily lives.
But we're here to remind you that shit is still real, so wake the up.
I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me.
We like to highlight excellence in the young black community.
As well as give y'all some bomb advice and create a place where you can just kick it with us. Catch our show here every Thursday with some new content, and make sure to follow us on our social medias at T&J's Child's Play.
Yeah, we back with another podcast. Y'all hear that sound? It sound good, don't it? Yeah, it do though. Mm-hmm.
Hey, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
I know, you yelling and stuff.
Okay, I
about
need
to
to
break
stop.
the speakers.
I mean, well,
I'm
why
trying to tell
it's
you.
all the way up? Why is it all the way up?
Because you
we don't know how
loud.
to take it out.
Because you loud.
I ain't even that loud.
You are that loud. When I tell y'all Jada's loud, y'all, she loud.
I'm loud. I project my voice.
She louder than me. That's a problem.
In the Avenue,
What?
the Baltimore accent thing, you saw it?
No.
Well, I'll show you later.
That
But
happened.
you know how like they be having their O's be like sometimes.
Yeah, how you do? Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like this Baltimore. I said Baltimore. It's like this British music video, and he was like in the avenue, and they was like, "This is the Baltimore new slang," and niggas got mad. Who's from Baltimore? They was like, "We don't sound like that. How dare you disrespect Baltimore like that? That's what y'all sound like. Avenue.
It's hard.
Avenue. That's what he's saying.
It's hard to tell. Like, I think people that aren't from Virginia, they say that like Virginians have an accent. I'm like, where's the accent? I don't think I have an accent. But
We say ooh here and ah here.
nah, but they talk about like how we say water,
water.
like water, like
Water.
like I don't know, like, but I mean, it's
I mean,
I think we have a little
It's a
accent,
little
but it ain't nothing
something.
crazy. But
not like
But what I'm saying is like when it's somebody who doesn't live here and they come and they look at like how we talk and stuff, they be like, oh no, y'all got an accent.
I heard that before. Like people from New York come down here. You guys are so country.
Yeah, like where y'all from? Virginia.
Virginia.
What are you? Virginia. You act like it's something
Crazy.
out of the ordinary.
Well, hey everybody. Another episode of T&J's Child's Play
T&J's Child's Play
from the library.
Yes. All right, y'all. So let me tell y'all something. We've been trying to figure this sound thing out for the longest, okay? I mean, ordered equipment, got that, tested it out, different places or whatever. And we just, we're trying to perfect the sound. We want to make sure that the sound is like the best quality possible. And, that's a hard thing to do. So, we're in the library.
We're in the library with it.
But we make it happen, though. We sound good.
Yeah, it sounds impeccable, actually.
So what's been up? You still in vacay mode? I know you went on Disney, you were on tour and stuff. You still in vacay mode? You chilling? What's up?
I'm good now. We got a couple more weeks till the school start hitting me. I need to get my stuff together.
You're summer school, right?
Yeah, it's going pretty all right.
Yeah, me too.
I don't like taking summer classes though.
Me
It's just
either.
not my thing.
It's really fast.
Yeah, it's not
really
my
fast.
thing.
I feel like it's just smacking me back and forth like really fast.
Yeah.
But it's cool though. I'm getting these credits. When I'm supposed to be chilling and stuff. So I feel like I'm taking steps to further advance myself. So ain't nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
So, but yeah. So summer school's going good for you.
Yeah, it's going pretty good. It's going. It's going.
We got about 3 or 4 weeks until like school officially like starts back up. So if y'all ain't
I say a good 4.
Yeah.
A good 4.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So if y'all ain't get y'all hot girl shit out the way, go
Yeah.
ahead.
You might as well. Well, no. Let's just get it clear. Y'all got until after welcome week to get it together.
It's an after welcome week.
After welcome
So
week.
you saying they can act
Because
up?
welcome week about to be crazy.
You saying they can act up until welcome week or
and then the
past
first
welcome week?
Sunday, the first official 7th day that we're here, you better get back on it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I won't be acting up. I'll be acting up with my books in my room. That's where I'll be acting up.
Whoop whoop. That's what they say right now.
Whoop de whoop. Yeah, I don't have time. I don't have time. Sorry. Don't have time.
Don't have time.
I gotta focus on me.
What do you think?
Period. Not at all. Not 1 minute.
Week off of you.
Yes. Alrighty, let's get into this quote of the day. The quote of the day goes to myself. Yes, self.
Where are you pointing
I'm
at?
pointing to God, girl, because he gave me the
okay,
reference.
because I didn't know where that. Okay.
You know how people, in the church, they be pointing up.
Because it looked like it was going a little over
Oh,
there.
it was like I was pointing out the booth.
over there. But back to it. What's the quote?
Quote of the day. Quote of the day reads, "What hurts you will continue to hurt you for as long as you allow it. You have to teach your mind to be stronger than your feelings. After time, you will learn to let go and grow from your pain. Mind over everything." Follow for more inspirational quotes on Instagram.
Follow that.
Yeah.
And that is 100% true.
Yeah, I think, as long as you allow something to have, effect on you, or bother you, whatever, I think it's going to continue to do that for as long as you allow it. I think,
exactly.
Whether that be a person or a thing, whatever, it only do what you allow.
Right.
So I think that's big facts, and I think that that aligns with our little message.
It
today.
does, and I got another message that goes along with that.
Hallelujah.
If a flower doesn't bloom, if a flower doesn't bloom, do you fix the flower or do you fix the environment? Piggyback just off of what you said. You're only going to be positive if the people around you and the things that you are doing around you is positive.
Right.
If it's negative, it's not going to work. You're going
Right.
to become a negative person because you're surrounded by negative people.
So I guess what's
Come
the
on
answer exactly? Is it fixing the flower or is it fixing the soil?
It's fixing the soil.
Right, because it's what causes the flower
Exactly.
to grow.
You can't grow as a flower if your soil is bad.
Facts. I need to learn that because all my plants die.
Okay. Day.
All my plants die.
Yeah, I do need to keep off.
All my plants die. And I don't know. My grandma was a plant person. She used to kill the game with the plants. Not kill the plants, but like kill the game.
I get what you're
with
saying.
plants. Like she,
like she was that plant lady.
Right. She would talk to it and the plant would come back alive. And I'd be like, how you do that? And she said the oxygen from the plant, you breathing that into the plant, so the plant is gonna, take all that in, so you have to talk to the plant. So I would talk to my plant sometimes too, Saturday mornings when y'all be sleeping and stuff, but I think it was getting too much light.
Yeah.
But when I would talk to it, the leaves would just fall off.
Brings in another thing.
I just
The
don't
things
know if my breath is
around
hot
you,
or
things around you could be good too. But if too much of the good thing can mess the plant up as well.
So I mean,
Deep.
I guess that's all about balance, right?
It's all about balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once you get the negative things out of your life, you should be able to balance it.
But you know what? Depending on what type of plant that is, we getting deep here.
Yeah, we
Depending
are.
depending on what type of plant that is, different plants need different types of things. So sometimes a plant might need more sunlight than another plant.
Yes.
So you just have to pick
and
and
you
choose.
can't compare your plants now.
Right, and you have to figure out what kind of plant you are.
Right.
Oh my God!
It's all about plants.
It's all about plants.
It's all about growth.
Yes. What if I should change this podcast to plant or grow?
Yeah, really.
Plant or soil?
Think of yourself as a plant. Like,
Facts.
the plant gonna die if it has too much water. So if it's too much of that person or too much of this thing that's making you mess up with your overall thing, change your routine.
Yeah.
And
Facts.
I mean, it's all about changing. We change every day,
Yeah.
so it's nothing wrong with you changing the different things that you need in order to be successful in life.
Yes, very true.
So yeah,
very true.
that's a really good quote.
I think that goes into our topic or whatever for the day. So the title of it is Game Over or Play Again. And I think of like an arcade or whatever. You're spending all of this money into this game. So like are you going to continue putting the money into the game, or are you going to say, all right, I'm done. I've played the game enough. I've got the experience that I need, or, I'm not getting anywhere with it, so I'm done playing the game. I'm not going to invest any more money into this game. Or are you going to continue to play it again? I think it depends on what your strategies are and if you have a different approach of how you're going to win the game. If you have a different approach how you're going to win the game, by all means, play again. But if you use all your strategies for that game and you no longer have a game plan for that game, then why play again?
Exactly. I think the thing that goes along with that is patience too.
Yeah.
Because we talk about this all the time off of the podcast and whatnot. Everybody thinks that everything's supposed to be overnight.
Right.
Due to social media, everybody thinks that, okay, if I'm a musician, it's going to take one song for me to get there and then I'm going to be a superstar. Or either with schooling or with getting a job. Once I get that one job after I graduate, everything's going to fall in line.
Right.
That's really not how things really work. I mean, there are circumstances where that works for certain people, but you see that's like 1 in a million chance. So honestly, patience is the key to everything.
And you know what? People get frustrated or whatever, or they get overwhelmed and, frustrated about them not making it or them not getting it or whatever. But, something I'm trying to figure out, I think it was Joel Osteen, he was talking about this, but like a lot of the times when we go through things, we just don't realize or have that understanding of, hey, I failed at this, but this is what I gained from it. Through this failed experience, I've gained how to become better at this. And even though I'm not getting to where I need to be, example, this podcast, not saying it's not getting where we need to be, but like, even though we aren't, where we would like to be, we have learned so much in the process of getting to where we're trying to be.
Right.
So even though, not saying all has failed, even through your failed experiences, you're still learning something that you can take with you on to the next experience. And you're like, okay, I dealt with that before. So I know how to approach this, or I know how to deal with this because I failed so many times at it. I know what to do. I got it now.
Right.
So I definitely think that's something that people like ignore with the failed attempts. Like, yo, don't expect for you to get it right out the gate, because if you get it right out the gate, then you can't appreciate when you get it. Exactly. And you're not going to be satisfied with it. But if you fail so many times,
you have to hear those no's. You have to hear the million no's.
Right.
And that's what I'm learning now. I don't know about you. That's what I'm learning now. Like, no is a part of everything. Yes. No is going to be a part of the whole situation of life.
Right.
I'm going to hear no, and I'm going to have to be okay with hearing no, because in high school and whatnot, I mean, I'm just going to say it, to be honest, if you were a little bit better than your whole peers, it'll be easier for you to succeed from different things. If you wanted to be a captain of a sports team, you wanted to be the head of this or do different things, it was just easier back then. Let's just be honest. Yeah. It's called spade a spade.
Yeah.
And this is real life. Real life is different.
Yeah.
You have to be able to hear the no. Yeah. It doesn't matter how good you are.
Right.
It's just your process with God.
Yeah.
You're going to have to hear no.
Yeah,
and it's going to hurt. But that's just a part of the process.
Yeah, and I'm learning, too, that, a lot of times that we're not and not to push religion or anything, whoever you believe in your higher power, but honestly, I feel like if you're not in your, right relationship with God, He's going to withhold you from certain things. He's going to let you know that, hey, yo, like, you need me in order to make this happen.
Exactly.
This is not going to happen for you unless you have me. So whatever you have going on that's not working for you right here at this time, right now, you have to let that go and allow me to do my work. It was another message that was said. He said, Joel Osteen, he said, when we step up, God steps back because He's a gentleman. He's not gonna do anything for you that you will not allow. So if you don't want Him to make these blessings happen for you, and you want to go out and try to make it happen for yourself and put in this work for yourself, He's going to allow you to do that, because He's not going to push anything on you that you do not want. I was like, wow, like that's facts.
It is.
And sometimes, we have to step back and say, yo, like, okay, maybe this is not it. Maybe this is not what, I thought it would be. And allow things to fall in place. You know what I'm saying? Allow things to fall. Stop trying to force things and try to make them work out and manipulate things and individuals. Let it go. Let it go. If it's meant to be, it will be. You have to know that you have to have a relationship with God and have faith that everything will work out in the end. You may not see it right now, but what you see is not going to make sense. It's about what you know and your faith and what you can feel. But yeah, that's it about my little tangent. But I really feel that, and I feel like I've experienced that the last couple of weeks.
We are a testament to that.
Yeah, for real. But talking about game over or play again. So a lot of times we encounter experiences that force us to face the facts and start all over again. What are some of the things that you can share about this topic, or how can you relate? Is it the end all be all for you, or is it based off the circumstances or situation? So I think it depends on the circumstance or situation. Like what are we applying this to? If you're talking about a relationship, have we tried everything in that relationship? Is it, are two parties making an effort? Is it just one person that's making an effort? What is the underlying issue? And with people, there's no rule book. And I say this to my friend all the time, like there's no rule book when it comes to relationships at all.
I got a good question about that too, because I love the real, and they was just talking about some deep stuff yesterday. Mm-hmm. Well, I saw it this morning, but they was talking about lasting relationships, and how some people are out there married 40, 50 years. Shout out to my parents. I think they're like 40 now. Woo-hoo. But they were basically comparing the times back then to what it is now, and they were just talking about women and their standpoint when it comes to marriages and like the millenniums and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And they were basically saying that women don't tolerate as much, and that's why the marriages don't last. But Lonnie, she had a different outlook with it, because everybody else was woman forward on the panel, and she was like, well, if you are willing to take those vows for life, you shouldn't go into marriage thinking that, okay, I could just get a divorce if things don't work out.
Right.
she thinks that people are seeing marriage as something being like you just put a shit to the side, or I can get married tomorrow and it'll be fine because I can get divorced. I just want to know what you thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think
it goes into
person.
the
absolutely.
Too.
You know, it depends on the person. You know, and I think that people really have to change their mindset of marriage being a temporary thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it takes a divorce so long for it to become separate, because you really don't know, and this is something that you vowed to do.
Yeah.
You said, okay, I'm
Under
going to love
God.
this, right, under God. You vowed to this person for better or for worse, no matter what happens.
Sickness and health,
yes,
money, all that.
Right. You really made a dedication to this person. Say, this is the person that I would like to be with or spend the rest of my life with. So I think, you know, having the option of divorce makes people temporary. And it really takes you to evaluate that person that you are trying to be in that relationship with and say, hey, you know, does this person have these capabilities, or do I think this person will quit on me at any point?
Right.
You know, what have things been like so far? I honestly think in the beginning stages of a relationship, not beginning stages, you know, like while you're dating before you get to that marriage part,
Yeah.
I think
Even like you can even take that out of the side, but basically they were just kind of focusing on like having money and then the cheating scandals and all that. Like, how much are you willing to take?
right.
But
Yeah.
it's like if it's not good for you,
Right.
then you might as well leave.
Yeah, and I think
before you even get to that.
right, and that's what I was going to talk about too. Like, when is enough? When is enough, and when do you get to that point where you're like, all right, well, this is not good for me. I have to leave or whatever. I think you can only do but so much, and I think it has to be on both parties. If both parties isn't making an attempt and you're losing yourself in the process of trying to make something work, you need to let it go, because you're going to end up getting to a point or predicament where you are too far in, and you not only lost that person, but you also lost yourself, because you have tried to invest so much energy and time into this relationship.
That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's like women and men, they're not tolerating what they used to back in the day. That's just facts.
And you know what, my mom made
a
a good point to me. She said, we were talking about, you know, jobs and things like that, and she was talking about, you know, like millennials and how like the loyalty is really not there when it comes to like jobs and in the workplace, which I agree, because we feel like, you know, what is this job going to do for me? Is it going to benefit me? Where back in the day it was more like, okay, my family's a part of this business. I have a loyalty, or, you know, I belong to this business because my family. There's no loyalty into that.
Not as much at all.
So we have a low tolerance for dealing with things, and we think when things get bad or there's problems or whatever, then we have to call it quits. I don't think that. I think with any relationship, I think it's gonna be problems and issues. But but I think it should be a limited amount, and I think it shouldn't be over crazy things or stupid things. You know, like if you're just bumping heads all the time, it's a no. You know, if there's no clarity or whatever, it's a no. You know, like there has to be some type of foundation. There has to be some type of, you know, it being solid before you can actually build something. And if you're having a hard time trying to develop something solid off bat, how are you going to be able to build something? It's just like Jenga or blocks or whatever. If your base is messed up, how are you going to build on top of that? It's not going to be stable, because somebody going to go by, the wind going to hit it or whatever, and it's going to knock right down, because there's no solid or foundation. So if there's no clarity, or if there's confusion, or if it's troubles or turmoil, whatever, in the beginning of the relationship, in the foundation part, and you haven't built anything, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. And I think what us as millennials, what we struggle to do is we try to force it and make it go somewhere.
Okay.
Come on, pay attention to yourself and pay attention to your base. If your base can't be built, then you're not going to go anywhere with it. Yeah. Not at all. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But
that was a good addition to it, though. It's just like, because that type of stuff could get really tricky.
Yeah.
It can get really tricky, because I'm just saying it. 40 years ago, if a person if a husband cheated on a wife or a wife cheated on a husband, I mean, divorce wasn't the first thing on the table.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah. And I don't think it should be. I think people should really take
not
time.
Even cheating, like other stuff that's like drastic in a relationship, like anything, like betrayal or anything, divorce wasn't the first thing. And divorce is so common now, and I'm just on the fence with it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it depends on that. That's why you have to really pay attention to the person that you're dating and that you're in a relationship with. You know, you want to make sure that this person is like, okay, wow, like I really bang with this person. Like, I don't think that I could see myself without them. You know, like we're such a match, or you know, like there's no, you know, it's just gonna feel right.
My life.
Yeah, it's gonna feel right. Yeah, it's just gonna feel right.
Yeah. I feel both sides though. That was a good topic that they came up with.
But so like for instance, like a situation with Game Over and Play Again. So like our podcast, right? So our podcast, for instance, we were in a predicament where, you know, we had to start over.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but that wasn't game over for us. It was more like game on. Like, okay, we knew that this was going to be a challenge or whatever. We're going to have problems with this. But now it's like, okay, now we have to do even more. It was like, okay, now game on. I don't think that would call that time when I would say, okay, it's game over or it called it quits. I think you have to determine for yourself personally, like, when is it enough, too much, depending on what the situation or problem is. If it's draining you physically, emotionally, you don't understand or whatever, I think then that's the time to call it quits. If you've done all that you can do, you've done everything, you've tried your best, that's game over.
Yeah.
That's game over. You don't have to play it again. You don't have to attempt at it again. You're at peace with everything that you have done.
Right.
You've done everything.
You've done everything that you could do.
Right. I think that's safe to say game over. Not to say that you failed at it. You did everything. So there wasn't no you failing at it. So take a relationship, for instance. Let's say you have a female and a guy in a relationship, and the guy is, well, it's more on the female stance. I'm not saying that guys, it's not possible, but a female is attempting to contact and make a point to this guy, and force communication and all of these things, and the guy is not receptive of that. He's not giving anything and contributing to this game. It's game over.
It's game over.
She's tried. She's attempted everything. She's done everything. Lost, confused, whatever.
You have to.
Yeah.
And the thing that comes with that is like the emotions and stuff that goes along with these relationships and stuff. I understand because we're human.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to be perfect. It's not going to be as easy to just give up on something that you really work hard for,
right.
Relationship or anything else, regardless, because you put your soul into it.
Right.
If you loved it that much, you
right.
put your soul into it and
right.
you put a lot of work towards it.
Right.
But then again, you have to go on the outside and look within,
yeah,
and see that it's not the right thing for you.
Yeah, and I think the hardest,
that takes a lot.
Yeah,
but that's what you gotta do.
I think the hardest part is determining, like, okay, I have to let this go now. Like,
right.
I've invested all this time and energy. For example, this podcast. If we had to let this podcast go, I would be devastated. I'd be devastated because
you can't.
right. But I'm saying, like, you invested so much time and energy into it. It's like, what? I don't know, not what I would do, but like, I've done so much for it. I've put in so much. So whether that be a relationship or a project or, whatever, if you strongly feel like inside there's something saying, let it go, that it'll be okay, then I think it's safe to say, okay, let it go. That's your faith. That's your faith being tested.
Definitely.
You're going to see, okay, I have more in store for you. And it's crazy because when you let certain things go, whether that be a project, a relationship, a friend or whatever, and you build your relationship with God and your faith, bruh, when I tell you certain things will just fall in line for you, and it'll be like, yo, this doesn't make any sense. Like, why didn't all of this happen when I was dealing with this project, or I was dealing with this person, or I was dealing with this friend? But now all of these things are falling in line for me. I don't get it. I don't understand. That's God. That's God saying, look, you've let this go. And because you've let this go, now let me show you what I can actually do for you. Let me show you the seeds that I can plant for you and put in place so that things can grow. Things that you have talked about or manifested, years ago are now coming to light and coming in place with your life. Because you've let a certain something or someone or a situation or project go that wasn't working. And it's okay to say, yo, I did it. I've done it. I'm letting it go. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's facts. It's all right. I think that's a part of life, and you have to determine when enough is enough and when it's time to move on.
It's time to let go.
So, yeah. So I think that I'm a type A person, which, some people make fun of me for being. But for you, Jada, when do you know it's game over, with a friendship, relationship, when do you feel like you know when it's game over for you?
Well, personally for me, when it comes to the things that I've gone through, it's when the trust is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, once I can't really trust you, or I can't trust that you have my best interests at heart and you're not going to be supporting me as much as I support you.
Mm-hmm. So like when you feel like it's like one-sided.
Yeah, once it's like 100% completely one-sided, because I'll consider myself a good friend. And
you all right, girl. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know you're kidding. I'll beat you up in here. No, you would be my ass. But, yeah. But once, like, it's one-sided, it's like, I can't how in the world am I supposed to? How in the world are we supposed to have a relationship, friendship, or anything if it's just one sided? I'm doing the work. Like that's not how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
One person can't do the whole work. You can't come to me as a half and I'm a whole.
Yeah.
That's when it's
all
trust.
right, Danielle.
I would say trust is that was a Danielle quote. But I would say trust is the one thing that
Yeah, it's like once that trust is gone for you, it's like
game over.
It's game over.
Game over for me.
Yeah.
But that's just my personal preference,
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like if you, like I said, I think it all goes back to that foundation. If you don't have anything, a foundation wise, and I think trust is, part of those things that goes to that foundation. If you don't have that, then it's not going to be anything. It's not going to build into anything.
Exactly.
And I'm doing some reading. I'm always reading, or I'm researching something, and I'm reading the Bell Hooks book. I think it's All About Love is the name of the book. And, she's discussing, like, these are the things that go into, like, love and, like, changing the definition of love. And, how we use it as a noun, but it really should be a verb. How love is shown through actions, and love is composed of many things. And to say that you love someone, you should really have an understanding of what love is. If not, you're gonna give the wrong love, and you're gonna receive the wrong love. So I think, and I told you this, Jada, I said the next time somebody says they love you, ask him, what does that mean? Ask him, what does that mean? What does you loving me mean? What is going to change? Because there's a difference between caring for someone, because care goes into love. Love is composed of many different things. Love is composed of commitment. Love is composed of, loyalty, of work, communication. There's many things that go into love. So, love is shown through action. Love is something that is shown.
It's not just an emotional people.
Right.
For the people in the back, just because he say he love you and he don't do nothing for it, he don't love you.
Yeah, so I think
he wants something from you.
I think, we confuse that with care. What is the difference between saying I care for you and I love you?
That's the point right there.
What's the difference? Right. So next time a big-headed boy say he love you, ask him, what does it mean? Yeah. Ask him, what does it mean? So I think that we have to change our definition of love. And I think as we do that, we'll see a change in people and relationships once we change that definition of love. But she talks about some really good things in that book.
You make a good point, though, because just because that person makes you happy doesn't mean that they love you.
Yeah.
And that's actually the main thing that people get confused with. It's like, okay, well, I love spending time with this person, I think it's something there emotionally, No, that can happen with any person that you allow it to.
Yeah.
That can happen with anybody. Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. Let's be honest.
Facts.
But are they on speed dial when you really need them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think love is really, it's shown through action. Like, that's how it's measured. It's not shown through words. Like, oh, they say they love you, girl. How?
Come on.
How they love you, girl? How? Like, if it can be shown, then I think it's it. But that's also doesn't mean, because people have the wrong definition of love, as I was saying. And I think we have to change that. We have to change the definition and know that to use it as a verb instead of a noun.
Falling in love.
Yeah.
You just have an emotional tie to somebody.
Yeah. And there's a word for that too. I forgot what she referenced the book.
Just an emotional tie to somebody.
But yeah, she talks about it all. Yeah. And talks about how, like, we're, like, scared to, like, love and all that. Yeah, it get deep, child. It get squishy and deep.
It's a difference, though. People should really look into that, though, for real.
Yeah.
It's a difference between being in love and just loving somebody's, what's the word I'm looking for?
Talking about caring?
I don't know. But yeah, it's a difference. I couldn't think of it.
So, speaking of love, we were talking about Wendy Williams a little bit. Wendy Williams did a Sirius XM Urban...
Living her best life.
XM Urban View interview, and we seen, like, some clips on the Shade Room, and she was getting, like, a little emotional. But, like, she... Every time, like, her husband was brought up, she got emotional and didn't want to talk about it. How do you feel about it? Do you think that she should have known, like, she should have been aware, like, hey, like, you might be asked about this. Are you physically okay or emotionally okay to handle these types of questions? What do you think?
She probably was asked, to be honest with you. But I feel like you can't just throw 20-some years away like that. Like, didn't they just get, like, divorced? Didn't they just make it official or something like that? I think so.
I'm not sure, because, like I said, divorces take a long time.
Right.
So.
I mean, I don't know if they're completely divorced. I don't know the ins and outs of what she got going on with her ex-husband. But basically, you can't just throw 20 years of that away. And from what I've been seeing with the tabloids and what the little bit of information she has been giving her audience, she's been putting in more work than he was when it came to the emotional side of things.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
But you could tell that she wasn't ready because she's been on her show for about, a week or 2 weeks now. She hasn't brought him up not once.
Yeah. And I mean, I just think that's something that she should have been like ready for, prepared for.
She should have been.
To answer and to get like emotional like that. Not saying that she should ignore her emotions, just saying like to go on an interview, you kind of should expect that for it to be a question. And I think she was gonna ask her like, hey, do you think it's over? Basically,
yeah, she was gonna ask her if there was a chance for them to ever get back together.
Yeah, she was like, no.
She was like, I don't even go there.
Yeah,
but it's like, I mean, she knows the kind of spotlight she's in. That's the type of question she's gonna get asked. I mean, she's in the tabloids for the biggest scandal of this year. He had like a whole baby on her.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But yeah, you have to expect those type of questions.
And then I think they're doing a Lifetime documentary on her.
Yes, they are. They're doing a Lifetime documentary on Wendy Williams.
How you doing?
This is gonna be crazy.
What you doing?
Because she used to be like a real drug head and stuff.
Oh.
Really bad. Back in her radio days. It's gonna be interesting, actually.
I did not know that.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she's a recovering addict. Yeah.
Well, I definitely think that she should, like gather herself before trying to do interviews and take her time.
Maybe she just needs to take a break from interviews for a minute.
Yeah, because I mean, there are different triggers and stuff, with like relationships or whatever. So I think maybe that was
that was it
for her. I mean, just that his name. It was just like brought her down.
Yeah, it was terrible. Still one of my role models though, Wendy. How you doing?
She's lit.
But other than that, Wendy's been having a hot girl summer.
What?
Just like my girl, hot girl Meg.
Of course she is. She created it.
Real hot girl shit.
Real hot girl.
But yeah, shouts out to Megan Thee Stallion. She trademarked hot girl summer.
I think it's long overdue, honestly.
Very much so.
I think it's long overdue. I think she's been killing that term since the summer. But I just don't. Okay, maybe it's just me that's not in that mood. But I just don't feel like it's been a hot girl summer for people.
It hasn't been a hot girl summer. It hasn't been a hot girl. Well, I mean, all right. It kind of hasn't been a hot girl summer for the people who created this hot girl stuff. Let's think about it.
Yeah.
Megan, she's always gonna be hot,
right?
But Megan's hot in a relationship.
Yeah.
And then we got the city girls.
Yeah.
Pregnant.
Yeah.
So is it really hot?
I guess it just depends on your personal experience. Lukewarm summer. Lukewarm girl summer.
You see, and they can still make it look hot. It's hot. But then it's like, it's some of these people out here on Instagram, they do, okay, I'm a hot girl. They post a couple pictures. And then all of a sudden, you pop up and you're pregnant, or you pop up and it's a new man in your life. Like, what? Are we really hot? Or are we just lukewarm?
They can be hot and pregnant, child.
You can't be hot and pregnant, but you get what I'm saying. Because it's like, you go, okay, you post a hot girl stuff, and now it's all of a sudden, oh yeah, we a family now. We a family.
Hitting people be... Nah, but I don't know.
Dwayne Jr.
Oh, wow. I don't know. Maybe that's personal experience. I mean, I
don't think it's that hot.
I don't think it's that hot either. But, I think that she's definitely killing the game this summer.
Killing it.
Like you said, the XXL,
nobody's doing it like her.
Cypher.
Mm-hmm.
She's...
Couple of freestyles out here. Megan... Yeah. She's that girl.
Yeah. And one of my friends mentioned this to me and said they were comparing Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. I said, oh my gosh, why are we comparing again?
Why are we doing that again?
We are. I mean, but I just think it's going to be that in music anyway.
Yeah, it's going to be like.
But I don't think that we should. I think Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion are two different people. They're in two different fields. And I like how the way Megan Thee Stallion shuts that down as far as, compare. Cardi B can be popping on her thing and Megan can be popping on her thing. I think it would be boring if we only had one person that was popping. Come on now. Like, why do we want to, elect one person to take the throne and take it? Maybe this one got it in this and this one got it in this. I honestly don't think that they can touch Megan's style, but
nobody's touching it.
I don't think we should compare.
And just like with all the hip hop blogs out there, Everyday Struggle and all that stuff, they try to compare it too, but you cannot compare.
Right.
You want to know why? Let me give you the facts. Megan, she writes her stuff. Cardi, she don't write her stuff. Let's get it over with. We still love Cardi. Yeah. We still love Megan, but that's just the fact of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rico Nasty, Tierra Whack. Those are people who write their stuff. I'm not gonna say Cash Doll. Cash Doll writes their stuff. City Girls and Cardi B, they don't really write as much, and that's just what it is. Y'all still love their music.
Yeah, and it's all nothing wrong with that, and it's all about the delivery of it too. Because Cardi B, I think even though she doesn't write some of her things, like she delivers it very well.
You can't compare her delivery to anybody in the game right now. Because if anybody else had Cardi B's delivery, they'll be as hot as Cardi B.
Yeah.
They'll have have a billion streams here. They'll have a billion views on YouTube. Yeah. They'll be that bitch, but they're not because they don't have that delivery. Yeah. We already talked about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Already talked about it.
I just
you
think
can be a rapper. You can be a good rapper, but your stuff's gonna be whack if you don't know how to deliver it.
Facts. I think people should just stop, like trying to compare them.
Exactly.
Like, stop trying to compare them. They're two different people.
Like, let's stop.
Let them be.
Let's stop with the comparison. Even on the men's side, it's like people trying to compare the baby. Oh yeah, he's not even that good. He is that good. He's a good rapper, but he knows how to deliver his stuff. That's the difference between him and a lot of people.
Facts.
Let's stop with the comparisons. I like Megan and I like Cardi too.
Alrighty, let's get into this Melanin and them reports.
Okay. This week's Melanin Report goes to Damon Wayans Jr.
All right. Tell me about
the son of Damon Wayans Sr., who made Living Color and a couple other things.
Oh.
But aside from the comedy, Damon Wayans is also a great entrepreneur. This year, he released an app. It's called Special Guests, where you can book different musicians, comics, and entertainment specialists for your events based on where you live.
What?
Crazy.
We need that.
Yeah, I looked on it, and it's actually a couple of things on there, so it's cool. Like, he really has it mapped out throughout the whole country. It's really cool. So I think this was a very innovative way to get everybody networking and whatnot.
That's
and
cool.
Different media people out there. So look out for that app. It's free. It's called Special Guests.
Wow, that's lit. I always think there's room for improvement. I tell you this all the time. I always think that something can be better, and I think that that's a good creation, like something that is going to be beneficial for people to use. I need to come up with something so I can make some money.
That was a really good idea.
Yeah, facts for sure. I think that was a good creation of him. Well, shout out to him for getting the Melanin and them reports.
Yes.
So I think that's all we got for this week, right?
That's all we got.
Well, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, listening. I'm so happy about this quality. I know this shit sound bomb. We've been working, trying to get this right, and sometimes, like you said, we just gotta take about 3 more steps back to further advance. So I'm glad the sound is here.
Fertilize the soil.
Yes, get that soil, put that milk or grow in there.
It needs some milk.
It needs some milk. Oh, somebody.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Somebody, he needs some milk. Come on, hire me for voiceovers.
For real.
Let's get it. But yeah.
Yeah, this is another episode of T&J's Child's Play.
Gang. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, follow us on everything. We hope you enjoyed our podcast.
We're here every Thursday with some new
If you have something to say it to my face.
Or let us know on Instagram and Twitter at T&J's Child's Play.
Make sure you're subscribed to get notified about our podcast.